Hi, my name is Diana. I run All Things Laser Earrings, and I love to share tips on techniques on how to make your laser earrings, how to get the most out of materials, how to design them, and how to paint them, how to just make the most unique earrings. Um, and today we are talking about painting acrylic, which is always a very popular topic. And yesterday I shared a tutorial on how to use the dish soap method, which is quickly becoming one of my favorite methods to paint acrylic. But today we're going to be more traditional. We're going to talk about the masked method. Um, and what I found for me, the dish soap method worked really well for more delicate designs like this design here, where really it's more of a delicate design. And I find that sometimes with the mask method, you can't really get the paint very well in there, because when you're doing the mask method, you are also like having to make sure that the laser has cut through the masking well. And sometimes with more delicate designs, that doesn't quite work out very well. So I find in general that I am finding that for more delicate designs, the dish soap method works really well. But for more graphic designs, um, the masks method is still going to work really well. And what is that? And what does that mean? Basically, it means that we put the masking on the acrylic. Most acrylic already comes with masking. So you just leave that masking on and you engrave your design onto your acrylic, as you see here. And obviously, you leave it on. What are the steps? I'm just going to quickly go through the steps. And then I will, like film this video, do accelerated parts so you don't have to watch everything and be bored. Uh, but these are the steps. So, one, you have your masking on. You obviously engrave with the side up, with the masking up. Make sure that your engraving settings, you may have to increase a little bit of power or lessen your speed a little in order to make sure it cuts through the masking really well and you have clear defined engravings. And then before you paint, very important step, you seal it. So these are the two that I use. I really like both of these. They don't smell as much as others. I'm a little bit sensitive to smells. So these are the two that I use and that I trust. And I will share these below. So go outside, give it a good coating. It's always better to have two light coatings than one bigger coating. So do that, make sure it dries. And what that does, it seals in the lines basically. So when you go to like paint, now like basically you are sealed within, like it's created kind of a sealant so that it's less likely that your paint is going to go everywhere and under the masking. That's what you're avoiding, because sometimes if you don't seal it, your paint will like travel under the masking and then you get like a blurry mess. So I have sealed these and now we're going to paint. And what am I going to paint with? I'm going to paint with Posca pens. These are very popular in the world of like painting like wood, when you've like done designs in wood. I don't particularly like them very much to paint wood because I feel that they flood a lot. So you're not always in control of what's going on. But that flooding is what makes them perfect for filling in engraved lines, because they like a lot of paint likes to come out, and that's what you want. You want a lot of paint to come out and fill in those lines. I paint maybe at least two, many times, three times. I want to really make sure that the paint is in there, and obviously let it dry. And then once you're happy with the paint fill, then you then seal it again. So you are sealing the paint in there so that when the masking comes off, the paint is not going to move, or it's more likely to get, you're more likely to get crisp lines if you are sealing. And as you can see, compared to this soap method, this is already a lot more steps. So we're going to do this. I'm going to paint, but I'm going to accelerate it for you. I'm going to experiment a little bit. I'm not sure a lot of these are going to work out. I'm not particularly, I think I need to thicken some of these lines. So I'm going to go, I'm going to paint, and then I'm going to seal them, and then we will come back to unmask some of them, and then I'll unmask the rest, and we will talk about it. this is a good 3 covers, three, you know what I mean. I've painted it at least 3 times. So you make sure you don't see any of the acrylic through it, and now I'm gonna let it dry, and then I am going to I'm gonna cover it in a good coat of clear sealant. So the earrings have been sprayed, painted on several layers, and sprayed again, and they're dry now, so I am going to remove the masking. Okay, you guys, so this is a humble pie moment. And this is my fault, since I designed these. And remember how I said how I was starting to really prefer the dish soap method because it works with fine engraved lines really well. And as opposed to masking, not so well. So the problem with masking is that you do have to like change your settings a little in order to make sure you get through the masking too. But the problem is that since it has to go through the masking and then engrave your acrylic, many times it becomes, if you have delicate masking, delicate engraved lines to paint fill, it doesn't, those lines don't get engraved enough. So, I mean, if this is the way you want to do it, then you have to like increase your power or slow down your speed or a combination of those until you get it at the right settings. But like I was saying, if you're doing a more delicate design, you should try the dish soap method since it is a lot easier to paint fill the dish soap method. And there's another tutorial on that, and I will link it up below in the description, than trying to do the masking way. So I found that my designs were like graphic enough to show you the masking, and I'm clearly wrong. Like none of them came out perfectly. This almost came out, except I can tell on all these that the white obviously is not thick enough. So if I wanted to sell this, I have to thicken up. I would thicken up the handwriting. I'm not going to sell this, but I would thicken up the handwriting in order to make sure that someone can paint fill it, because this is so graphic. There's no reason you shouldn't be able to do it with the masking level. These were more delicate. I knew they were more delicate, and they just totally failed. And then this one, I thought it was going to be enough, but either my settings were off when I did it, but basically all these finer lines that worked fine with the dish soap method did not work at all with the masking. So I also think that maybe my settings were a little off and I needed to have a little bit more power or a little less speed, because it clearly didn't cut through the masking enough in order for me to paint fill. So obviously this is not looking great compared. So yeah, so this was a fail. Like not everything is great, right? And now I need to do a second tutorial where I show you this working well, because this clearly isn't a very good example. But this is an example in one. If you are designing, let's do it this way. One, if you're designing for more delicate engraved lines, the dish soap method is probably the method for you. Two, if you are not doing a delicate, and this was not supposed to be a delicate design, this is a sign for me that I need to thicken some of these lines, especially on the writing. And that's easily done with offset. All you have to do is you can turn if it's a font, you turn it into a path. On most design softwares, there's that option. Turn it into path and then you offset it. And you don't normally have to offset it by that much, maybe 0.003 or 2, or even like 2 or 1, but do it in both directions so you're not warping the design in any way. And then test again. 3, my settings were probably a little bit off on this one. Like it shouldn't be this bad. So I feel like my laser didn't get through the masking enough, and I probably needed to either increase my power, either increase the power a little or slow it down a little in order for it to get through the masking, in order for the paint to like get through easily. But live and learn. So I will be doing a follow-up tutorial where it looks a lot better than this, so you get a better visualization. But it is a good method to use also in big projects that are very graphic. um and if you have any more questions, let me know below. If you want to join a supportive group, come join me on All Things Laser on Facebook. It's a supportive group where I share our projects and I share my tutorials. I have a membership you can access at allthingslaser.com. And thank you for watching, and hopefully the next one will go better.